Do you still feel you have a lot of loyalty to Joe?
No. We're good friends, that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's, since Kimber was born, he's been focused on that little girl quite a bit. That little girl became his life. Instead of living life through me like he normally would, that little girl is what gave him purpose to live and to keep that part going. And he actually helped me quite a bit, helped take care of that little girl.
Mm-hmm.
When we couldn't buy her certain stuff, he'd ask, what do you need? What can I buy you? And he'd go buy whatever he needed for that little girl. He'd go to Walmart, he'd buy her toys. Mm-hmm. Every time.
What did you get paid at the park?
From when I first started there, it was like $150 or so.
A month or a week or?
A week.
Okay.
But after me and him started a relationship, there was no money. And it was August of 2014 is when I left the park, and I left for like 6 months. And then that's when me and him were at each other's throats. And August 18th of 2014, we were supposed to have a meeting that day to go over certain stuff because I was gone, because the park was in my name at that time. And he was threatening to turn me into the cops for, what was it, abandoning animals and stuff like that because my name was on the bank account. And August 18th, me and him got into an altercation, and I ended up going to jail for like a night because I had assault and battery against Mark Thompson, and I had assault and battery against Joe. And both of them were actually dropped because neither one of them showed up in the court. And after that, it kind of settled down. He was calling me every day, but I wasn't answering because I didn't want to deal with him. He was basically threatening, at one point he was threatening to turn my mom into the cops in Davis because too many dogs. And I eventually sold him 2 of my blue heelers because I didn't need 3 blue heelers. And then 6 months after I left, I kind of went back, and then I was working for $400 a week. And then it was that way until we opened the bar. When we opened the bar, it was $600 a week, and then it would...
What did your duties change when the bar opened?
I was actually manager of the bar.
Okay.
Head bartender. At times I was a cook, waiter. Mm-hmm. I did the whole 9 yards. But there was times that he knocked me down on pay, and because I wasn't doing my stuff, and then there was times he'd jump it up and back down.
Mm-hmm. And you also did a lot of the animal hauling for him?
Yes, I did. I was one of the main ones, besides John Rinke.
Yeah. Now, I know for sure that Joe knew that it was illegal to sell tigers. Do you know that?
Are you talking about when the law passed after that or before?
Well, there was a period of time way back when that you could sell generic tigers. And then the law changed and you couldn't sell tigers anymore.
Yeah, I knew about the law.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, yeah.
Yeah, and you would often transport tigers and lions to different places for Joe or other animals?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Did you ever accept any money from people?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. How did you get the money?
Most of the time it was cash.
Cash?
Hardly ever there was checks.
Mm-hmm. What about wire transfers?
Yeah, there was some, yeah.
Some of them that were sent in your name?
Yes.
And what'd you do with the money from those?
Normally it went to him.
Well,
I'd keep what I need for the trip and then the rest would go to him.
how much money did he typically give you to start a trip?
Depends on the distance.
Mm-hmm.
Name a state, I might be able to tell you how much.
If you had to go to California, what would he give you?
Oh, God. That one well, in my car, it would,
And your car is?
the white Kia.
Okay. Is that what you used a lot?
That's what I did to go to California.
Okay.
The one time.
I thought you were using one of his dualies a lot.
There was a white Dodge Dually, the one that he wrecked. There was a red Dodge Dually, and there was a blue Ford. And that was the only three vehicles I really used. Oh wait, then there was one trip where we went to get Jeff Lowe's cats in Colorado. We used the white Dodge and the white Buffalo, my truck.
And then, would he tell you how much money you're supposed to collect?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. My understanding is that he would give you expense money to take off on the gas and lodging or whatever as you started off on these trips. You brought the money back to him, or it was wired, or however it got back to him. He'd sometimes give you some of that, but most of the time he took that.
It was $100 a day if I was on a trip.
Okay.
He would pay me $100 a day.
For hotel expenses, whatever you need.
No, that was it. I wouldn't get a hotel or anything. The only thing I was spending money on was food, drinks, and gifts for the kids.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it. There was no hotels or nothing. I'd sleep in the truck.
On these trips that you would go, there'd often be paperwork associated with these animals, either those transfer forms or
His version of USDA form.
yeah,
Yeah.
either one of those. Did you always have paperwork on every trip?
Yes, I did. Even health certificates too. Yeah.
You sure you had those every trip?
Not every trip.
Okay, that's what I'm getting at. When I'm asking you questions, I know some of the answers, and some of it's just a test to see
I'm
how
being truthful.
if you're going to be honest with me.
I am.
Because if you're not going to be honest today, you coming forward and telling me half truths and stuff like that
Oh no,
is
I'm
not
not telling
going
you anything half true.
It's not going to put yourself in any better situation.
Oh no, it'll put me in worse. I know. I'm probably going to be in trouble over some of that stuff anyway.
Well, I mean, you're in a situation here where you're going to be able to benefit yourself by coming forward like this. I mean,
As long as you're true.
as long as you're truthful.
Okay.
So you're making the right step to help yourself by coming in today.
Okay.
But once we start finding inconsistencies and half-truths and Andy and I know a whole lot of the answers, and we're just waiting to see kind of how you're going to answer them.
I don't have the best of memory.
Well, I'm not talking about getting a date or a time or a day of the week type of deal. I'm not worried about getting that critical with the information. But basic information, for example, we talked about a while ago about the boat stuff and the boat conversation. Yeah. We knew it happened. We knew it took place. And in my opinion, you really didn't want to talk about that too much. And we kind of had to kind of go back to it. So yeah, when we bring stuff up, you've got, for this to work, and for you to get any benefit from this at all, when there's thoughts that either we evoke or thoughts that are in your mind, you've got to vomit some information and be totally, because we're not going to waste our time trying to pull it out of you today, because this is up to you.
Yeah, this is voluntarily.
Yeah.
I've been wondering why y'all haven't come to me at all, or even tried to contact me.
Well, I'll tell you why. Because I didn't trust where you were at.
Didn't trust where I was.
I didn't trust that you would cooperate.
Something had to give me the right push.
Yeah. So I've always wanted to talk to you, but I've always thought you've been way too devoted to Joe. I thought Joe has had some type of warp hold on you, and you would do anything. You would jump off a bridge if Joe told you to do something.
No.
If Joe told you to come in here to lie to us today to save his butt from where he's at now, I had the thoughts that maybe you would do it.
Now, he would ask me to lie, but I have no reason to lie. Now, I wouldn't want to lie.